What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 4 and we're starting today's stuff on the back of our win over Bradford to put us through to the next round of the EFL Cup. As Jesse Lingard comes to us and says, "Hey Gaffer, it's been going really well for us recently." I was like, "Jesse, you got different standards, mate. We've only had one win all season long." But he says it might be a good time to talk about renewing the contract. Now of course Jesse Lingard famously signed that 1-year contract in the summer with Nottingham Forest after his release from Manchester United. Very sensible business from Nottingham Forest there, because they know if they were to go down, paying his wage in the Championship, that is a huge financial burden. But of course, with Jesse Lingard, starting the season off, he is one of our key players. You see the draw here for the last 16 of the EFL Cup. We've got Norwich City, the Canaries at the City ground. I do want to make sure there's no chance he could leave on January on a free transfer. Obviously, in FIFA Career Mode, when January comes around, players that are 23 or older can leave on pre-contracts to join a season for free, to join a team for free next season. I don't want to see that happen. So for me with Jesse Lingard, I can't wait until the end of the season and find out if we've avoided a drop, had a mid-table finish, had a really good run in the cup or whatever. Jesse Lingard's had injuries. I can't wait that long. I need to make my decision before January the 1st. So only a couple of months to go before deciding whether Lingard will stay or not. For now, I think he probably deserves another 1-year extension, but of course it's very early days. So, first game of today's episode, Wolverhampton Wanderers away at Molineux taking on Bruno Lage's side here. Big game on the back of the, obviously, loss to West Ham. We lost it in the final minutes. Skamaka scoring that late winner, and that was our first loss of the City ground this season. So far away from home, yet to get a win in the Premier League, of course, and heading into this one, not feeling totally optimistic after only just scraping through the Bantams in midweek in the EFL Cup, and Wolves did open the scoring as well. Nelson Semedo with the opener, making it 1-0. So we were trailing by a goal, and those games of FIFA where you just never really get going. This was one of them. Right before the break, a chance for the host to go 2 goals up, which they would do. Lovely link-up play here between Hwang Hee-chan and Raul Jimenez. Eventually, Matheus Nunes receives the ball 14 yards out, drills it past Dean, and we're 2-0 down. You see in the top left here in the second half, Wolves were dominating possession. They had all the chances, and really in the second half, if anyone was going to get a third goal, it was going to be Wolves. There was no way we were going to get back in this game. I just didn't really get going whatsoever. Final score 2-0, back-to-back losses. And a game where we failed to score, which is a little bit concerning. It's even more concerning than the defense. You see this game here, we only had 2 shots in the game, an XG of 0.4. Wolves had 12 shots. I don't mind us, losing the shot battle, if you will. I don't mind us conceding because it's modern day FIFA. Games are goal gluts, that's okay. But on the other end, that's the concern. We need to be in the top 10 for goals this season. That's what the board have asked us. And most crucially, if we're going to keep on conceding, we've got to outscore our opponents to win. It sounds very simple, but it's true, because you look at the stats here. We've got 9 goals to start the season off in 6 games. That's quite impressive. That's more than anyone else in the bottom 8 of the division. But defensively, worst defensive record in the division. So if we can't keep the ball out the back of our own net, which is, going to happen in the majority of our games, we've got to score goals. Games where we fail to score are really negative. I don't mind if we lose away against a better team. We're a newly promoted side. That's to be expected. But got to at least test the goalkeeper. Got to at least get some goals. Otherwise, we've got no chance of staying up. Our only chance of survival this year is to get goals. And I know, again, that sounds really, really obvious, but we're not going to keep many clean sheets. We'll have one of the worst defensive records in the division. We already do have the worst defensive record in the division, so those games are the ones that are going to hurt the most. So, following game, first one of October, welcoming the champions, Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, who believe they've got the final piece in the jigsaw puzzle, with Erling Haaland coming in from Dortmund, and what a start for Haaland. Yet a record-breaking beginning to the season, trying to win the Golden Boot in his debut year in the Premier League. Well, to start his save-off this season, he hadn't scored a goal until now. 5 minutes after the restart, Haaland smacks it in off the underside of the crossbar, and the Norwegian gets his first of the season in the save. Took him 7 games to score this season. I knew it was going to come against us. I knew he wouldn't have another goal drought in this game. Yet 1-0, Man City in front. Of course, it's the Norwegian tank with the goal. And I've talked about Haaland at length, man, as he gets his second 9 minutes later. You know, I said last year when he was at Dortmund, back in January, I think it was. I was doing a Bundesliga career mode at the time. And I talked about Haaland at length and said, I truly do believe he's got the chance to become one of the greatest strikers of all time. And it sounds like such a bold thing to say at such an early stage of his career. But I've watched a guy play for Salzburg. I've watched him play for Dortmund. And obviously, I'm now watching him play for Manchester City in the Premier League as well. There is no negative to this guy. I mean, he's so tall. He's so strong. I think he's 6'3" or 6'4". You know, he's so physical. He's got an absolutely cannon of a boot on him, and obviously he's rapid as well. This guy's absolutely rapid. It's unfair that this guy is so tall, so physically strong, yet he's so quick as he is as well. But that to me is why Haaland has all the chance to become one of the greatest strikers of all time. He's done it in Norway, he's done it in Austria, he's done it in Germany, and now he's doing it on the biggest of stages in England, in the Premier League and in the Champions League as well. Erling Haaland has all the assets to become one of the greatest strikers of all time, and he's had an amazing start to his career at the Etihad Stadium as well. And again, he's in his early 20s. I mean, the future of this guy is just, you just think of the possibilities of what the guy can do. He literally could be, again, in my opinion, one of the greatest strikers of all time. But he was the main reason we lost that game. 3-0, back-to-back games without a goal, and 3 defeats in a row in the Premier League. Pressure is on, and heading into our final game away in our first Midlands derby here at the King Power against Brendan Rodgers' Leicester City. We'll be seeing this game on Monday night. I can't wait for it, man. I really can't. With both teams under pressure to start the season off. We were under mighty pressure heading into this game. Back-to-back games without a goal. 3 defeats on the trot, and now Leicester City away. This was, I would say, the biggest game of the season. So the question is, how would we respond on the back of that drubbing to Manchester City? Well, 13 minutes into the derby, the worst possible start. Brennan Johnson penalised for a trip from behind, but Henderson bails him out, denying Vardy and turning the spot kick behind for a corner. I was thinking, right, confidence boost. I've saved a penalty, but Leicester were playing this full pitch press in this game, and I literally just could not handle the pressure. Yep, put under major pressure by my own corner flag, surrendered possession, and Wilfred Ndidi turns in the cutback. We trail by a goal at the King Power, and you see the trend happening in the first half of this game. The blue shirts swarming, surrounding my Reds. I could not pass the ball forward for quick counter-attacks like normal. I would succumb to the pressure that they were putting on, and we were 2-0 down, 38 minutes in. And I was thinking, all right, get into the break, get into the dressing room, 2-0 down, regroup, try and lift the spirits, just don't let it become worse. And on the stroke of the half-time mark, Leicester toying with me on the edge of the area, accurate, quick passing, and Tuna turns in his own rebound for his second of the game. Half-time at the King Power, Leicester City 3, Nottingham Forest 0. My first Midlands derby in charge of the Reds. 3 defeats on the trot. It's going to become 4. And at half-time, trying to lift the spirits of my teams up. Well, let's just say it didn't work. 5 minutes after the restart, it's 4. It's 4 at the King Power. We are getting absolutely destroyed in my first derby. We're going to have 4 defeats on the trot and possibly 3 in a row without scoring as well. The Forest fans in the corner sneaking out. You can hear the home fans singing, "We can see you," sneaking out. It was a massacre in my first derby in charge of the Reds. The fans that did leave early did miss us grabbing a consolation goal right from kickoff as well. Jaden Bogle playing across the edge of the 6-yard area, and Jesse Lingard wanting that new contract. Well, I've got to say, at the moment, if we are going down to the Championship, which is looking likely, I can't afford to give him a new contract. And with 15 minutes to go, a howler from Henderson saw the home fans start chanting, "You're getting sacked in the morning." Jamie Vardy makes it 5-1. Leicester City. A howler from Henderson. There was no hiding place for myself on the sidelines. 5-1 down. Half our fans in the corner had walked out. We got a consolation goal late on through the kid, Brennan Johnson, but the full-time whistle confirmed the end of a massacre, and I'll be honest here, I was glad that it came to an end. Final score in my first Midlands derby. Leicester City 5, Nottingham Forest 2. 4 straight defeats. The Reds slip in to the bottom 3. And question marks on my future. Have they appointed the wrong man? Is Doc's out of his depth? Just 1 win in 8 to start the season off. Worst defensive record. 4 defeats on the trot. And now in the bottom 3. Alarm bells ringing. Nottingham Forest are in 19th place. But that will end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode with the pressure mounting on my shoulders very soon.